Matthew, you can't come to me on your second day and say, hey, I'm dipping next week because I have a marathon. Suck it. You can't do that. There is a time, space, and place for everything, right? So you have to make sure that we're following some of the norms, the professional norms and whatever. You have to build relationships before you can ask for favors, things like that, right? So the first thing is be reasonable in your asks. Professionally and quite frankly personally, be reasonable. And this goes to being that authentic whole leader yourself too. I have to be reasonable in what I ask new employees. I don't want to ever come to you on your second day and say, hey, I need you to stay late and to give me an extra 10 hours this week, right? Because I'm still trying to build that relationship with you, and I'm trying to set that baseline of like, I'm not going to be this demanding person. And I should rephrase that. I'm not going to come to you on your second day and be like, you need to stay an extra 10, 15 hours this week because I don't care about you or your feelings. This is a job, right?
Building
That's not the
relationship
type
goes
of
both ways.
Yes, the relationship is a two-way street. That's why I say bring your whole self. You have to be an authentic whole person before you can help your other people become those authentic whole people. So it's being reasonable in your asks and understanding that it takes time to build a good relationship. And there are things that you are reasonable to ask. Hey, I want to leave 10 minutes early and it's not a timed position, fine. 10 minutes, not a big deal. A whole afternoon, I better know what's happening. And then also, again, with that two-way street thing, I found most times when I am, you know, starting to ask for favors or starting to ask for that wiggle room because of that, because of the fact that I do think we're starting to go with a good relationship and I have a good boss or I have a good leader, then it's making sure people know that it is a two-way street. So, hey, do you mind if I dip early on Friday because I want to go get prepared for this marathon? I've already completed my work, or I only have a few extra hours that I need to do, or I know I'll stay late on Thursday to make sure everything is done. So, it's making sure that you are giving as much as you are getting. In my case, I don't celebrate the holidays, right? I don't celebrate Christmas. And I try not to celebrate drinking holidays, no New Year's, no St. Patrick's Days. And like just an example for my own company, like we're offboarding a product. We sold it and we will be wrapping up and closing it out at the end of the year. And I mentioned to my boss, I said, hey, I know we're wrapping up and it should be done. I was like, but remember, I don't work. I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate New Year's. So if you need someone to be here, be on the phone or be available, let me know because I'm here and it's not going to ruin my holiday to work over, right? So that's that two-way street. I'm there, I'm willing, I'm part of the relationship. So I'm offering something and I'm asking for something. And it doesn't always have to be an equal exchange. It's not this for this. It's not tit for tat. It's just two-way street, right? And that should count in friendship, that should count in anything. You should never be the one giving 100% of the time and getting nothing in return because that's called boundaries and you need to be very mindful about that, especially if you struggle with things like self-love and transcendence. You do need to be very mindful of how many favors you give to people